Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 9 of our automating spillage playthrough on hard mode with the Iron Teeth. We are in a bad tide with 11 days left, which is pretty much going to be a case of just sort of babysitting this cycle, I guess, until such time as it is finished. But there is a couple of things that we need to get our beavers concentrating on, and that is to fix these. Now, we did start last episode by getting this nice little reservoir up and running. There's a couple of things we need to get them to do, which is run this over here so that we can at least take some advantage of it. Because right now, it's kind of here and does absolutely nothing. Which is all well and good, but, you know, useless. So, with that said, we probably also need to figure out a decent place to pump stuff out of it. So, it is too deep to put anything in of particular depth, because I don't think these obviously face the right way. These can get all the way down without being flooded all the time. They certainly can't get down into this pit down here, which, again, it's not a real problem. This little section here is probably about as good as we can get realistically, because, well, for the simple fact that it's as deep as we can get. So let's put them in. We can always make use of beavers elsewhere if this ever dries up, which in all likelihood probably won't, but we can do that quite easily. Get these laid in and hook them into this here path, which will probably help if we did that. So, I think for the time being, we're going to just concentrate on getting some big storages in. What do we like for bits? We can build one, so I guess it's as good as any. And I suppose, with the power of the automation, we may as well place in a depth sensor here and bind them all to this. Let's just copy and paste to that. Now, when you are less than 0, then you should be on, I think. Or is it greater than? Greater than. There we go. They shouldn't be paused. Or is it because they're not built yet? Not sure. Build me this sooner, please. Thank you very much. I'm not sure that that should be the case. We'll see how that goes. But ultimately this water's here. But it is a million trillion miles away from anything, so we need to figure out how to best to get across. Now, we have this walkway, which is fine, but it's not ideal. And I'm just thinking that perhaps we go across here. Let's just go to a level. It seems to be on the same level, so that should make things a little bit easier for us. But what do we have in terms of these? Now, that should get us quite a way there, but I don't really want to put it just there, so let's get that built. They should get around to it pretty quickly. Someone just needs to come and hit that with a hammer. I'm hoping these will turn on. Good. The system works. So, we have beavers there doing a pump in. This can be supply, and the haulers can come and take that elsewhere. So it also gives us a nice bump in the water storage front. I would like you to get this done first. Probably easy to just do that, if I'm honest. Blocks. Yeah, we've got everything else. So, yeah. It shouldn't take them too long. it is the next thing on the docket, if you will. So, with that done, let's get this in. Yes, please. And then figure out how to connect it up onto this side. So again, similar theory. This one is too big, but I think for the sake of it, we'll just notch out 2. We'll just do that. Now, to get them over here, we're going to have to go the long way with ladders, as you would expect. But that will not take them too long. We do get the advantage of getting these nice, beautiful oaks, which will be quite nice. So I guess we may as well they did that, so right, it helps if we actually place them in the right direction. So while we're here, let's just tidy this up, because we don't need it anymore. And mark all of this jazz for cutting, because trees are good, especially when they're made of oaks. And then once we're over here, we'll run a tube network and have a little stop for them to come off this side. And I think, based on what we see, probably running the tubes this way, we can probably hook in, well I say probably, we will hook into all of these. And then it's just as easy to swing them up and about over a bridge this way, or over this one, rather than run all that way. Cool, so that's that sorted. They should now come to these. Again, it's a bit of a trek for them, but it is what it is. Let's say, do me the honour of these quickly. That shouldn't take them too long to do once those are in. Other than 1,000 miles of walking. These will be very inefficient for the time being, but not for long. I suppose while we're waiting for that, get them to come and meet in the middle. And then it's just going to be a case of the old stairs trick, I think, because that is the easiest way to get up and around these things. Yeah, similar story here. Just so we can scoot all the way over here to deal with these. Now I did want to use this as a bad water tank, but it's probably not the best one to have, just because it's so intermittent with bad tides, although they probably will get worse before they get better. That bad water sits underneath here, which I didn't realise when I thought this will make an ideal place to put a tank, or a big reservoir of bad water, if you will. So we will automate that though, as soon as we have a nice escape off the map for it. So we'll let them get on with that. We can kaboom these and duplicate this bad boy. Like so. And I guess take all this noise out and probably get a duplicate station over yonder. Like so. That should probably make this path that goes all the way over this way pretty much redundant, but whether they will go that way or not, I don't know. But it does give us the options to run more stuff about the place, so that's going to be good for the future. And we have our first bridge, if you like. It does also mean that we can block this area up as well. So right now, this water is obviously what it is, but this is still barren wasteland here, which is bad. But it will allow us to put a dam here, which means we can store a second tier of water behind it. And so on and so forth. We could probably just put bridges all the way across, to be honest, every time it drops down. Until about here, because this thing also needs love, which won't take us too long to sort, actually. So, let's just lay this in for now. Something along these lines. We could probably do this a bit cleverer these days as well. So, let's think with portals and do this. That won't work there. Maybe we can't think with portals. Maybe that was a stupid idea. Oh well, we have other stuff unlocked. Although, can we? These are ridiculously expensive for what I'm doing with them, I suppose. They're more useful there, though, so let's just cap this thing on the sides, as we were going to originally. And then that. So that will allow us, at this point, to then go that, and that. And I need to go down just a tiny fraction to see, because I've just covered them. And this one has the advantage of being able to do that, so let's make the most of that, and path in here, path into here. They should be able to build most of that. I'm gonna pause that so they don't walk downstairs like they shouldn't do, which they probably will do. It's, you know, beavers. This one is a bit more difficult. This is going to need a bit more. We don't need a 6, but well, let's choose the science, why not? Something along these lines, and then we'll just do that. Is it expensive? Yes. Should we have done something different? Probably. But never mind. Again, similar, they can build that and then get around to it eventually. Two-way network should be connected over here very shortly. That's probably consumed pretty much all of our stuff. Seeing as the water is good, let's just bump that back up to normal priority of everything else. They should get around to that pretty quickly. That's all pumping. I didn't pay any attention to these, but that's okay because everything's fine. This is a problem. So I am going to say that bad water is not the best way to deal with these. I am just going to have a fluid dump on here. And a little teeny tiny tank. You must always be stocked. You are a high priority workplace. And unfortunately, it's just going to be a case of waiting for that to sort itself out. We could just open it, to be honest. It may be that that's the case. Because they take too long to do anything, unlike these, which are already back and flooded. So, plus the automation is much, much simpler. You just need to be based on that, and then all this stuff can go away. Yeah, see, that's why these can't exist. There's some bad water in there, but it'll get massively diluted, so it's not a major issue. I would very much like those, though. So get me this, and bring me these bits. You need to be automated with what we've got down here, which I do believe is based on also on the weatherman. So that should mean that that gets all fixed. That's fine. The depth sensor can control them. That's okay. Good day to you. Don't have time for that. Again, this is just going to be a case of fluid dump. And tank. Which I always never remember to put in the right place. But water, you are going to be obtained, and the haulers are definitely going to bring you. You are a high priority workplace. And onto that. You are also onto that, so that when you are on, you go full height. This does need to be replaced. This does need to be replaced too. Not for now, it'll do the job. No real issues. Good, so there's plenty in there. That was a mistake. We can get the water pumping now though, so that's fine. That can go away. Good. Alright, so they are up and about the place for there. Now, it seems that they are choosing violence and going the long way, which doesn't quite make as much sense as I would have thought, but sure, I guess. Alright, well, I mean, you know, they'll do them. That, unfortunately, will be a bad for a long time. Alright, fine. So, with that done, that's coming along nicely. That's filling up wonderfully. That isn't overtopping that, so we don't have any risks. Alright, so I guess we need more tube networks putting in. And I guess the easiest way to force their hand is that. Oh, well. There we go. That'll explain A lot. Never mind though. So, 23-day drought. Water's okay. Not as full up here as I would have liked, but there's enough water in there to pump for days, so that'll be okay. That's going to keep itself happy. We've still got something up here anyway that's spilling in, so let's concentrate on sorting out the tubes. I think the easiest thing we can do with this is just blast a hole straight through here onto this side. Is it worth it, or is it worth these? No, it's probably just worth that, to be fair. Okay. Yeah, those stairs probably should have stayed in for now, but never mind. We could uncap that though, so that we have no risk of danger of death. That's going to be okay. I'll need some shenanigans putting in to get them to be able to reach that, but no big issue on that one. Let's just put the stairs back in. We are going to blast it down. I suppose for the sake of that, we may as well just say goodbye to all of these bits too. Why not? I wonder if it's worth thinking about tubes? Tunnels. It has a T in it. It's close. Not quite though. Where are you, landscaping? We can afford it. We are not making extract though, so I think that is probably going to be the next decent call for us to do. So the corn rations are doing their work as they thought they would from last time, so that's good. We don't need to really worry too much about that. Still plenty of juice in the old thing left, so banks are full. We need to sort out storage big time. That won't be too bad. We do have a homeless beaver though. So it's probably worth expanding a load of stuff out. So where best to deal with this? So power is a problem. You guys are bored, so let's deal with that for the time being. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but we've got 1, 2, 3 bits of power we could utilise up here, but I don't think they're really going to do us any use. I think we're going to have to start relying on the engines, to be honest. Yeah, alright, so let's just make a break for dealing with this for the time being. So this is probably going to be a bad move, just for the simple fact that it uses a lot of water, but let's pause these two. I can work on that. I didn't want to do that at all, but whoopsie. So with that engine laid in, we can then get the power running this way. Something along those lines. And then we can start saying that. Not the bots, not the grease. There's underwater. I always forget where this thing is. Centrifuge, and we'll just get this thing sat here. Probably means we don't need any of these. Do it like so. So that should mean that we can do that. This is going to need feeding, so with that... I'm going to say those are the best solutions we have. So you are going to be for bad water as an obtain, and you are going to be for extract. That'll take a hot minute for them to build. Right, what else are you working on? This still? Good. Right, it's good. We do need that doing, so that makes sense. We did unlock these last time, so we may as well. Do that, and then it's a bit extravagant, I will grant you, but it will mean they can build. It helps if I put it across the wrong way, but... There we go. That allows them to get to everything to build everything, so this can then be finished and we should be good. What would be useful here is putting some valves in. So we may play with the valves very shortly. May also be worth changing these then if we're going to start playing with valves. So if we say those instead, and then we will figure out what that needs to look like soon, once all that's built. This is soon to be in. We will cut the path off from them, otherwise they're going to walk on it and we'll be in trouble. One more. Thank you. Now go the opposite way. Thank you very much. And let's just come out so we don't get our ears blasted, but boom that. Lovely. Goodbye to the stairs. We could just put a path in for now, but it's a bit convoluted, as is this, but, you know. I'd like to blast that. I can't do that yet. I can do this, though. We didn't lock the dynamite a million years ago, so it's kind of my fault for not doing this stuff sooner, but hey-ho, we'll get there eventually. So to get that built, let's get these picked up, because we may as well get them back in so they don't disappear out of all existence. We could also do with getting them to turn off when storage is full, but never mind, it'll be okay. Alright, so... engine is running, that's fine. We do need water and logs to make this thing run. Could we sneaky and just move this up one? Probably, but not going to. May as well get the water in there. So this is an expansion. So this gets us a lot of power down here, should we need to move out of this area. Or we just need to put more of these in, which quite honestly probably will need to. That's now done, so this is all protected. It would be nice to get all this bad water out, to be fair, but no easy way of doing that. It's probably best to let that evaporate. Be nice for these red tendrils to go away as well, but we can't have everything, can we? So we are making treated planks, and we do have the logs, so that's fine. If we have 3 bored beavers, then we may as well get these back in case. We could... Do we need any of this? Yes, we do. But we will automate it. So, resource calculator, where are you? Calculator? Counter. That's what I was looking for. This will be... Count on... what is it? Resin. Resin. Count. Thanks. You will do... Fine resin. Turn off when we're full. Why? Oh, you're paused because that doesn't exist. I guess they've changed that, because I'm pretty sure that used to work the opposite way around when it didn't exist, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. So this has all been built, although it's very messy. I would very much like these things to not disappear. You are a high priority workplace. You are prioritized by holders. Good. Alright. That should fix the tree problem. They should automate that when it's full. You could probably also go with that. As can you. Where are you? Oh yes, you're here. Aha, right, good. So when the logs are 100%, all that turns off, which makes sense to me. I hope. Cool, we also have extract. So that means that this is done. Yes, it is. That just means we can kaboom that, get rid of that, and get this put in. Might just need a little bump on these things, but that's fine. This is going to be a bit higgledy-piggledy, but never mind. It gets us to here. Like so. Kaboom. Thank you. Duplicate. Thank you. Right, so that will eventually connect the water up over here. If we need to, we can also run a bridge across to here, because we do need to get someone across to this to make sure that it doesn't get too polluted, which was a problem. So it's probably just as easy to say similar to what we did here, just run a bridge across. We do have this thing. It does get you there eventually, but it's not as efficient as it could be. How big are we talking? Could do that. And then just go up. Yeah, we'll do that. Build me those two. Or do you want to move it across? You're in the way. You, and you. We unlocked them anyway, didn't we? So that's a 4. How high is it? Need to go down 1. Let's do something crazy like that, I think, and do that. And we'll get them unpaused now that the brain has thought of how we're going to do it. I think for the sake of it, we'll just straight across here. We'll cut this area off eventually. Rip out these bits because we won't need them. But they should start building that soonish once, well, that's done. That's taking up all of our gears as per. Planks less so. We've got left 10 days, that's fine. So this is dry, but I don't think we need to worry too much about these. Days. We could utilize this actually and turn it on if we wanted to, but means messing around with the automation. I'm okay with not bothering. Now, this area is going to be dry shortly, but that's going to be handled by that. Farming isn't the best. Yeah, you're going to get injured. That's understandable. I think we have most things planted apart from the big boys. So we do need another farm, which we was going to do down here, I think, if I remember rightly. Which, with the help of a water dump, should be fairly easy. So let's add this there. Ever-growing list of jazz to deal with. That should be doable. That's not right, is it? That's what we actually want. Yes, it's probably a bit of a waste. We could, with the wads we have, we could just fill the whole thing. Should we just fill the whole thing? Increase evaporation. Stuff it. Let's go for it. Just clean this up. Just make this more efficient. Go to there and build me a fluid dump here. In fact, actually, no, don't do that. Just fill the whole thing in. This may not make any sense, but it will at some point. Rotate. So we don't need to build that. We need that putting in. We probably should have a water dump down here actually. So, whoopsie, we'll put that back in. And you will be for that, you will be for that. And then that gives us this area to do some more jazz with. It will take quite a bit of water to fill that thing, but it'll be fine. I have faith. We do need to move the well-being somewhere else though, that is for sure. See how we're getting on with the tubes. Not particularly well. Is that because we're out of metal or planks? No. Just get me these built. And the fact you can use the tube network to get to it is insane, but never mind. Build me that though, so I can at least lay the thing in. Did I actually unlock? I did. Shall we make this somewhat the same, just for sanity's sake? Anyone can come and do that. That would be lovely. Are you coming? No. Where are you going? Aha. Fair enough. You know, you could just build the tube network, and then you could do it in whatever. Just build me this. I just need this. My patience wears thin, beavers. Let's go. No, you are not done yet, but we're on a bad side, so it's not an issue. Thank you. Kaboom. Alright. And I hope that I've got these. I don't. Lol. Oh well. Take two. Full speed ahead on this one, thanks very much. Ain't that good now that you've built them? You can get through the tubes. Fancy that. Fancy that. Please do this. Thank you very much. Kaboom. Right. Now we're cooking. Get that to there. Come up a bit. Kind of want to go up and over. I'll lay this path in. We could be sneaky, actually. What does this get us? It gets us exactly where we need to be perfectly without any questions. That does get us to here, and that is pretty much the only place it needs to bring us. They can walk down that small bit of path that's left, so with that done, we've also left in a little bridge for them to continue to use this without too much hassle. Yes, it's a bit more resources, but I think it looks good. A bridge is always nice. Alright. So that's done. These are not even being looked at because we did it much later. Just wondering if there's a way to get these in here. Probably, but we do need to automate that. So I guess the easiest way around that's going to be just to chuck this in here. Path in something along those lines. Do need a depth sensor about here. And for the sake of it, I think we're just going to get ladders. Have I completely messed that up? Yes, I have. A 3, and a 2, and a 1. Is it a lot of resources? Yes, but that will allow us to get these built. So this will be... don't know. I'll name it later. But we need to give it a comical name. I'll have a think about that. But these need to be unlimited when this thing's on. You will turn on at 5.8. When you're greater than that, these will open. You will do that. And then this one... I don't think it matters, actually. If this is running, this will fill up with whatever. I mean, to be fair, we could just not automate this at all with this. Because we could then just turn it off when that gets to its height, actually. That may be better, thinking about it, so... you will build to whatever level this is. Say 5.8, I think that was right. Then you'll slam shut and probably surge, so actually 5.8. 5.5 is probably the better one for us. And then we can just pump from out of here. These do need filling though, so that can be just achieved with simple levies, like so. Can we just do that? Alright, that is the drought over. No goods selected. Ah yes, you need to be water. Good, 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 good. That's perfect, because that's topped that back up. As is that, as is that. That will fill everything back in here. Alright. So that path is only needs to get down there for now. And then these stairs come here. That'll give us a nice extra pot with which to pump from for bad water. We could run a network across if we wanted to. Probably not going to. Can we fit one of these in? We cannot. So we can definitely fit some of these in though. Bad water. Copy and paste. There we go. That'll do nicely. So that will fix that for us. They'll build that eventually. It'll take them a wee while, but that's running nicely. Alright. Probably need to get the haulers to think about doing that sooner rather than later, but never mind. What was okay? We're full up on metal, are we? Oh no, it's sparkly planks, my bad. Okay. Let's turn our attention to dealing with the beavers. I think they've been neglected a little bit. So we could do coffee, campfires. Got the food area down here. We wanted a forester though to do that. So if we were to plant coffee here, there's quite a bit you can get to. That may dry out. Oh, actually no, because that'll be there, so that'll be okay. And it's probably high time to say goodbye to these. So, with that said, demolish all of that. Do that quickly. We can place this tank here, and we can start emptying some of this jazz. Consolidate all of these. Have we got the stuff to do this? Yeah, build that first. Empty these. They've been with us since the beginning, so it'll be sad to see them go. But there's no need for them to exist. We'll leave these two under here to keep this thing powered, but let's get these emptied. And goodbye to all of these. And with that, we can get showers. Oops. Showers. Yes. And that will make their lives just a tiny bit nicer. At least once that's built. Whether we can empty all this or not, I'm not sure, but we'll find out shortly. Got all the blocks, half the planks, most of the gears. They will get to that eventually. Aha, bad tide approaching. So we get to test our little theory out. What that will mean is this now becomes absolutely impossible for you to deal with. Because you will come down here and you will make an absolute fool of yourself. And just in case you decide that it's a good idea to do it anywhere else, I'll also pause these two, because you beavers do like to get excited. So with that done, you can't make a fool of yourselves. So, good, done, happy days. Yeah, that'll be fine. We do need to put a counter on here as well, so that when it's full it stops. That's going to be okay for now. We can also run in power to this if we wanted to as well. Probably should have done that before I did this, but hey ho. How did you build the... Oh, you did it from above, I see. Okay. So this will just run as it does for now. We could probably just turn these off. In fact, actually, let's turn it off and then we can unpause that. Correct decision. Alright, well, we'll run it through to this, and then as the next bad tide starts, we'll see if everything is going along nicely. There's no one in it anyway, so does it really matter? Suppose not, but why not? Soy, let's get the old soy in. The Rafflecopter, if you will. Do need some canola and we need some eggplants, so maybe eggplantify this. And canola this. We'll leave this area for fun with our 4. Non-reason for them being 4 bushes. See previous episodes for more information on that one. Good, so that's supplying the other ones, that's good. So we have nearly 10,000 water anyway, so that's fine. Does that mean that this is done? Yes. Are these empty? Mostly. I guess we need more of them. Oh well, they'll get emptied. We're going to need some more beaver storage as well, so can we squeeze any of those in nicely here? Not particularly. No, not really. 15-day, let's just make sure that this... You gone? You're here. Good, good, good. No pain. No pain. You need fixing, but that's another job for another day. Alright, so we can safely unpause this. Alright, that will give them something to deal with at some point when they get round to it. When they've filled up that, there'll be plenty of space. Yeah, you're bad because this isn't finished, but it's coming along. Just for the sheer amount of time it takes someone to get over here, but that's fine. We understood that to be the problem. Cool. In that case, we'll wrap this episode up here. We've been about an hour, so that's usually how long we let these run for. We've done quite a bit, just as a bit of a wrap up, so we'll expand this out. These are going to get used and abused. We do need someone to deal with this, though. We also will need to do something akin to this. In fact, let's just do that. That's depth becomes her. We just I think we should have had the settings. Yes, anyway, that will keep that alive, and that will be a high priority job, just because it's farming, so that needs to be green at all times. Might mean we can get rid of this, depending on how green it keeps it, but we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, we've removed all of the bad water pumps to fix that, so these now actually fill up pretty quickly as soon as we get good weather back. The tube network has expanded massively. This will probably be the furthest point, but once it's up here, it should be okay. Certainly to get someone in to get this dealt with, but even then, a little bit of contamination won't hurt anyone. Next time, we will look to tear off across these so that we can get the greener areas staying green, and we'll also look to deal with this thing. And with that, we will also look at tunnels as well, because I think they're going to be useful to fix a lot of the problems we have. So, with that, and with 12 days left to go, I will let you all go about your day. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you... there is a problem here. There is a massive problem here. Hold, please, callers. I will wrap up shortly. My bad. My bad. Anyway, as I was saying, if you didn't notice that, thank you for putting a comment in if you did. If not, then we've got time to before it becomes a problem, because that would fill that with a lot of pain. Anyway, we will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Have any comments down below as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.